and you do the newborn exam on the babies, make sure they're doing well. Oh my god, and then they be crying, and you're carrying the baby, you guys. And welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing my face for the very first time, hi, my name is Adora and you're watching Life with Ada Beke. So welcome if you're a new subscriber. If you're one of my OGs, welcome again. If you're someone who has already watched part 1, welcome for the part 2. Yes, so if you haven't watched part 1, this is a 2-part series talking about my complete mother care block, which was 6 weeks of OB and 6 weeks of pediatrics. So the first part talked about the OB version. I had a guest in that one, so please be sure to watch it before you watch this one. So let's get into it. Talking about the second part, which is my pediatric rotation, just giving you the pros and cons, how it went, all of that. So both the OB and the pediatrics are 6-week rotation. So OB is 6 weeks, peds was 6 weeks, and for us, everybody does peds at Stony Brook. So we have a children's hospital, so everybody just does their pediatric rotation at Stony Brook. So my friend was in the OB one, and she was able to share a little bit about her being at a different site, which I thought was interesting. But with this one, we're all at the same site, and she had to go, unfortunately. So I'm the only person in this video today. So let's get into it. So for me, some of the pros included that, like, the pediatrics people are really, really nice. You guys, like, I did peds after doing medicine and surgery, and so like I think I was already like jaded. So when I came into peds, and they were so lovely, the residents, the attendings, the nurses, everybody was just nice. Like, they were just oozing like a breath of fresh air. They were just like really, 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 really lovely people. And I think it's just because it's kind of like the kind of person you have to be kind of to go into pediatrics. You're working with kids, you're working with parents, you have to just have a certain kind of personality. You cannot really be like malignant as a person to go into pediatrics. Doesn't mean that there isn't, maybe that 1 or 2 persons there. But overall, that's just not how their program works. So I thought, like, I while on peds, I had the best senior resident I've had my entire clerkship experience. Like, he was so nice. Like, he was such a good teacher, and he really, really wanted to help. Like, he gave the best tips, and I'm still using them till today. Like, he was just an amazing soul. Like, even on outpatient, it was just amazing. So the way our peds rotation was, you do 2 weeks of days, you do 1 week of nights, 1 week of newborn nursery and primary care. So you do newborn in the morning, primary care in the afternoon, and then you do 2 weeks of any specialty of your choice. I did cardiology and pediatric GI. They were so amazing. Additionally, the attendings and even the residents were such great teachers. Like, where it wasn't, first of all, like, thankfully, there's not a lot of children that are sick, at least on the floors. The really, really sick kids are in the ICU, the pediatric ICU, and we don't rotate through the peds ICU or the NICU. So on the floors, you will get patients who do not need ICU level of care, but we didn't have like a lot of patients, which was a good thing. As a result, we were really well on rounds. We really spent a lot of time like learning. And I felt like the teachers were really, really nice. Like, even though they pimped you, like pimping is like asking questions while on rounds and stuff, but you didn't feel horrible. Like, I didn't feel like, oh my god, the ground is about to swallow me if I didn't know an answer. I really felt like they were asking me questions for my own learning. It didn't feel bad. Like, it felt okay. Like, it did not feel horrible, you guys. And I can't even say how much like that changes your educational experience, where even though you're still being asked questions, you're still trying to learn, but it doesn't feel like people are out to get you. It doesn't feel like people are like insulting your intelligence. It doesn't really feel like that. So I really enjoyed that part. Like, they were really, really great teachers, and this was both inpatient, outpatient, nursery, everywhere. Of the newborn nursery, you guys, newborn nursery was my single most favorite week in my entire clerkship. You guys, so for us, right, if a baby is born and they don't have any issues, they are going to go home with their parents, so they usually, the minimum amount of time that you stay in the hospital is 24 hours. So we tend to see the babies, round on them, make sure they're okay. We'll do the newborn exam, just make sure those little bundles of joy, they're doing well. But so the newborn nursery, we were there 1 week, and we would round in the morning, and you do the newborn exam on the babies, make sure they're doing well. Oh my god, and then they be crying, and you're carrying the baby, you guys. I really miss the newborn nursery. Like, if there was a specialty where all you did was newborn nursery, just be carrying newborn babies. That's all you do. I will be there. I'll be number one there. But oh my god, I really just enjoyed being with the kid, like being with the new parents. Some of them the first time parents, like just it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, you guys. I don't know how to explain it, but when I tell you, every morning when I wake up and I'm coming to newborn nursery, like joy overflowed in my heart. Like, I was so happy every time I have to be there. I was filled with joy. Like, okay, let's move on. The cons of peds. The first one, this was usually during outpatient, but sometimes during inpatient. Pediatricians, I feel like they have to use like a fake voice. Like, I remember there was the pediatrician I was with, like, when we were outpatient. When we are outside, like with each other and everything with the nurses, she'll be talking in a normal voice. Once we enter the room, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter whether this child is newborn, like the child cannot understand you, or whether it's an 18-year-old, she'll enter, she'll be like, oh my god, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they use a baby voice. And like when the first time, it's like, okay, boy. When he's like, I'm like, this person is 18. I'm like, girl, calm down. Like, sometimes they're using this like baby high-pitched voice that isn't always necessary. I'm like, why? But that's just me nitpicking. Like, but I always thought, like, I was like, I cannot live this kind of fake life for the rest of my life. I'm like, why are you talking like that? Like, you have to kind of be on, like, it's like, how people are like a customer service voice, like, but in baby. Yeah. I wasn't with that either. Another thing I didn't really like on peds was well child visits. So if you guys remember being pediatric age, i.e. 0 to 18, you saw your pediatrician every year. Not me though, because we don't do that in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you only go to the hospital when you're sick. We didn't do preventive care, which is not good. But obviously in the United States, you do well child visits. So that is a big part of pediatric outpatient experience. And to be honest, I only liked well child visits that were for teenagers, because I thought like that was more I felt like I got more out of that, like really learning how to talk to teenagers, how to make them feel comfortable enough to be able to express themselves to you, how to do health exams. When we were doing like well child visits for toddlers and stuff, like they didn't want to be there, I didn't want to be there, everybody was just angry, like, and for the most part it was just their parents answering, and then you're doing developmental milestones, and that stuff is hard. So I don't know, it just, after if you've seen one, you've seen them all, and then like when you realize that like out of 20 patients you're going to see, that we have on the schedule, like 10 of them are well child, I'm just like, oh my god. I'm tired. So that was me. Well child visits were not my favorite, but it is what it is. It's part of pediatrics, and you just gotta do it. Another thing is, like, working in peds, you have to have a lot of patients. Like, you have to muster the most amount of patients that you've ever mustered in your entire clerkship. Like, because first of all, for the most part, right, when you think about like the newborn and you're thinking about toddler, they cannot tell you what is wrong with, they can't tell you what is wrong with them, but sometimes they are in such, they are in pain, or they are crying, they are fussy. So you have to, like, as in, for me, right, like, I would feel so bad for the children, and it's like, I just want to like make you feel comfortable, but you have to calm down and actually like evaluate things. And because they cannot talk, you're getting most of your information from the parents, and all parents are not created equal, right? So you see parents who have, you get parents who just they are tired. Like, they're in pain, that their children are in pain, which is normal. But sometimes how that now translates to the physician. So some of them, so it can get so hyperfixated. Sometimes they're not hearing what you're saying. You get it, because I mean their child is in pain, and they want to make sure that you're taking as good care of their child as possible. And sometimes, you know, that doesn't always, you know, translate into a straightforward you know, care. And with others, sometimes you see parents who don't give a beam about the child. Like, so, you know, you see child neglect, CPS being involved. Very sad. Some things just require a lot of patience. And if you're somebody that just wants to do boom boom boom, don't know, you and pediatrics will have a hard time. But I'll say that was a con in a way, because in some ways sometimes it can get draining. I won't lie, it takes a lot of like emotional reserve out of you, because at the end of the day, like, I think as humans we are like, there's this innate thing for us, like we're wired to protect children, we're wired to protect our young. So when that is not happening, whether it's from the parents' angle or something, like, it's really like it does more in you in a way. I feel like that was really it. I would say that my pediatric rotation was overall my best rotation so far. I really enjoyed peds. It was my best clerkship. I don't think I'm going to become a pediatrician though, but as a clerkship, as a field, pediatrics, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'll rate the clerkship like a 9 out of 10. You guys, that clerkship was superb. It was 6 weeks of pure joy. I would say the shelf though, the shelf was hard. The pediatric shelf is very difficult. So good luck to all those who are going to be studying for it. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this one and you don't watch part 1, please go and watch part 1, then watch this one, and then watch all my videos. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. I remain your girl Adabeke. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye.